Hey everybody! This project is going to be the roughing and coring of one of the blanks that I cut out of this, well, it's not the biggest piece of maple, but this piece of maple. So this is the bowl blank that bit me. Ugh. I tried to weigh it before I cut the circle and it maxed out my scale, but I don't know what my scale is maxed out at. So I'm not sure if this is a little bit of ambrosia maple or if it's just the rot pattern that's starting. It's hard to say. It sure looks like ambrosia to me, but I have not found any bug holes yet, so I don't know what to think about it. I wasn't initially planning to do a natural edge bowl, and I was just going to use the center from the circle cutting jig on the bandsaw, and I decided that this was going to be a pretty good candidate for a natural edge bowl, and so I changed my mind and eyeballed the center with that little circle cutout and going to get it mounted up on a wormwood screw and see what we can find. I realize that you guys can't see the red dot from the laser, but what I'm doing is looking to see if the high points of the wings and the low points of the wings are in line or not. And they're not. Ow! This is what happens when you are taking this off of the wormwood screw because you want to try to recenter it and you drop the thing between that and the lathe. Ow. Okay, let's get back to work here. I changed my mind. I decided I am going to put this between centers because I think this is going to be such a pretty blank, and the top sides are lined up pretty well, but the bottoms aren't. I took it off a couple of times and tried to balance it out and leaving it on the wormwood screw by angling the hole that I drilled for the faceplate to fit, not the faceplate, the face of the jaws to fit down in there, and I just couldn't get it right, and I was gonna just be done with it, but I think this is gonna be really gorgeous bowl, and I want the bottom wings to be as, boy, that really hurts, you know, as level as I can get them. So I'm going to stick it up here, maybe, and hold it, maybe. I gotta get that tailstock out of the way some more though. Not tailstock, this thing. Ow. Yeah. Alright, you know what? You just come over here for a minute. Be still. Okay. Hold it. Okay. Okay. Now, I want this thing back in there. Because I need this little guy. Ah! Damn. And is it kind of clear? No, not quite. Okay. That's almost perfect. All right, how about the high ones? Lay off the high ones. I like the high ones. Nag, mule. Actually, I think that's the other way around, but whatever. Okay. I like it. Hopefully this is going to be worth having done that for, because that really I'm not sure why this camera is shaking so bad. It's not attached to the lathe, so I don't know what that's all about. Boy, that's not good, is it? This picture's from the next day. Basically, my finger from the middle knuckle up turned purple and green and all sorts of funky colors. I did end up going to the doctor and having it x-rayed, and it wasn't broken, so I just smashed all the tissue up there and have a hell of a blood blister. Before I put the coring system on, I'm gonna mess around with this spot a little bit because I moved it. The wormwood screw is not gonna be in the right spot for the inner bowls. So I'm just gonna flatten it out a little bit, I think. Try and get this cord out before it warps anymore. I had to take a little break and get some ice on that sucker. Boy, does that hurt. Ah. Okay. what I may do is just go ahead and core what I'm gonna core, and I'll have to do something different for the mounting to get the tenon on the bottoms. Maybe just use a spur drive, or maybe I could use jam chuck or something if I get that kind of flat, which it seems like it's alright. So I guess I'll go ahead and get the coring system set up and get that done before this thing gets any more out of round. Rats. Okay. It's probably not deep enough for this side bowl, but it's also not a great fit. Because it's warping. Yeah, I'm not really very confident about any of this. There wasn't any damage to the mortise. It didn't break it out or crack it or anything, so I'm assuming that it's just maybe a little bit shallow a mortise for this size bowl, and then also for the torque involved in coring it. So here's hoping it'll hold long enough to get at least one bowl out of the center. I had to move the tailstock and the whole coring system out of the way after the bowl came off of the mortise, so I didn't get it lined up quite exactly in the same spot, which isn't really going to be a big deal. It just means I'll have a little bit more to clean up after the core comes out. And I'm going to check that mortise a couple of times just to make sure it's still nice and tight. We're there. Okay. Well, that sucked. But this is what it is. The ridge that you can see in there is from me not getting the coring system lined up quite in the same spot. And I left it a little thick, not necessarily on purpose. I'm not sure if I could have maneuvered the coring system into a slightly different position and gotten the outer bowl a bit thinner, but again, it is what it is. And what it is at least two bowls, whereas without the coring system, I would have had one bowl and a lot of shavings on the floor. It's fine. Fine. It's just fine. Let's not drop it on our hand again. Right? Oh yeah, I gotta get this guy. Oh, little fella. Okay. Oh, wait. Well, it'll just be one little set. I made that one too thick, but I think that my coring system is a little small to do bowls much bigger than this, but that's fine. I don't need anything bigger than that. That's scary. Just put you in there. And then gotta get all the wet stuff off the lathe. All right. Now, you're not gonna fall on my hand, right? Because I'm gonna catch it. Ugh. Okay. I don't see any cracks so far. That's good. I think this is ambrosia. I'm still not positive. It just looks kind of strange. I don't suppose it matters much what I call it. It's going to be gorgeous. I put some AnchorSeal on it and I stuck it in the kiln. Here's the smaller bowl that I cored out of that one. I finished it up about a week later, I think. It was all right in the shavings, which was good because I just wasn't ready to get back to it. My finger still hurts 2 weeks later. This whole project was full of gremlins, don't you think? There's one now. And here's another one, although he's a pretty cute little gremlin. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, y'all be safe out there. Yeah, we feed them to the cows when they're constipated.